What's up, Deli Bunch? What it do, baby? So if you're wondering why I'm talking quieter than usual, it's because it's literally like 1 a.m. Everybody's practically sleeping except EJ. He's actually taking a shower. So that's why I'm trying to keep my voice just a little bit down. But I've been eager to do this video. This is going to be the baby names that I love but will never ever use video. I always get addicted to certain types of videos on YouTube and then I always want to do it myself. So that's what this is all about. Also, this is a collab with my girl Annette from the Mars family. Her link will be down below. She too will be doing names that she loves but will never use for her future children. So head over to her channel to see what names she loves. Maybe you guys can bond on what names you like or dislike. She does a lot of mommy content, so you'll absolutely love her. I'm also going to be tagging my girl Shay from Kicking It With The Grant. I'm also curious to hear what names she likes. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. Now, with Troy, I already knew it was a boy. I felt his energy. I already knew his name would be Troy. So there wasn't really too much that went into his name, you know, like I didn't have a long or hard time thinking up his name. It was Troy. Okay, done. Aria, it took me a good minute. There was a lot of names that I liked. I always have more girl names that I like than boy names. It's always harder for me for boys. So let me know what gender is harder for you. I'm gonna start off with the boy names that I love but will never use for my kids, and then we're gonna move on to the girl names. I'm gonna start off with my bottom choice, which is Justice. I love the name Justice. It's very unique but not out of the box. You know, you've heard it before but you don't hear it often, and I love that about the name. The only thing that I'm not crazy about is the spelling. I think I would spell it Justus, and when you split it up, Just Us, right? So it's not as appealing when you say it like that. And then if I spell it the other way that it's normally spelled, it reminds me of the little girl store in the mall. That's what kind of turned me off from the name, but I absolutely love it. The next name is August. So when I was pregnant with Aria, I thought to myself, I mean, I felt that it was a girl, but I thought, you know, if it's a boy, let's name him August. I just love the name. I've always loved the name August. And something about me, I love months for names. I love numbers for names. I love countries and cities. So August was like the favorite month, like that I thought perfect name. But no one was sold on it, especially the hubby. So anyways, we skipped that name, but I love it. The next name is Xavier. I love the name Xavier. If I'm being honest, like one of my favorite boy names ever. Xavier, I love that it starts with an X. I think it's a very nice name. It's also a Hispanic name. I'm Hispanic. I felt like it'd be perfect for me. What kind of strayed me away from picking the name is EJ has a cousin and his name is similar to Xavier. So I was like, oh, is it weird if I like copy, you know, or like reuse the name? So we decided not to go with Xavier if we ever had a future boy, but I love the name Xavier. The next name is Roman. So when we thought there was a possibility that Aria could be a boy, Roman was one of the names. I love the name Roman. I actually have a cousin, like a great cousin. He's really old actually. He just passed. His name was Roman, and I was so obsessed with the name I was willing to reuse it. What turned me off from it though is the fact that Troy's name is Troy, and then I thought it'd be too much with the Greek, you know, like Troy and Roman. Like it sounds a little crazy. I think when you say it together it doesn't flow. So we decided to not go with Roman, but till this day it is one of my top names for sure. Maverick is next. I love the name Maverick. I heard it for the first time on Teen Moms. I think Macy named her son. If you watch that show, Maverick. I was obsessed. I'm like, oh my god, if I have a son, his name's gonna be Maverick. But it's so popular now, and I think it's somebody said it's like a sports name. I think a basketball team or something, and it kind of like shifted my liking for it a little. But I still to this day I love the name Maverick, and it was definitely considered with Troy. I think with Troy it was like considered, we were like, maybe we should not do Troy and do Maverick. Next is Eric. Eric, let me tell you about Eric. Eric has been one of my favorite names since I was a little girl, okay? I was obsessed with The Little Mermaid, Prince Eric, and I told myself, when I get married, Mom, my son's gonna be named Eric. Well, with Troy, Eric was definitely considered. EJ wasn't sold on it, and then I brought it up again when I was pregnant with Aria, thinking maybe it's a boy, even though I felt girl energy. And I was like, let's do Eric, and he wasn't sold on the name. But I think Eric is just such a classic name, and it's not used often. I think honestly in my lifetime I've only met 2 Erics. It's not that used for me. Like, I never hear the name Eric, so I just love it. It's such a good classic, yet simple, yet strong, yet gentle, yet handsome name. I think out of every boy name aside from Troy, I think Eric is definitely, like, you know, it's up there. I really, really like the name. Okay, and then the next name, the last name, is Dallas. So I like cities for names, like I mentioned, and Dallas is a name that I really like for a boy. But I don't think the hubby was sold. He was like, no. But I love the name. Like I said, I like cities for names, so Dallas was definitely up there. Another name that I like, I didn't write it in my phone, but another name that I like that everybody was like really, was River. I mean, I think River is a really good name. Like, I love the name River. And if I were to have another boy, I'd probably want to choose River as his name. But, you know, the hubby would definitely be like, no. Okay, so now let's go to girl names. If I were to have a daughter like today, her name would be Naomi. I love the name Naomi. I love the meaning of the name Naomi. I think it's a really cute name. It grows with you, so Naomi would be her name. But for the names that I love and would never use, on the bottom of the list, 7. I love the name 7, like the number 7. 7's my favorite number. I like have good feelings about the number 7. I just love 7. I think it's a really cute name for a girl, and unique and sexy, and I just love the name 7. But I would never use it because I fear people would tease her. Honestly, like, wow, your name's 7? You know, as a little girl, I think she'd be teased about it. But as she got older, I think people would admire it. It's one of those names, you know. The next name is Noelle. I love the name Noelle because I love Christmas, so I always wanted to name my daughter Noelle. I think EJ was the one who wasn't really sold on it, and he was like, no, I don't really care for Noelle. But I brought it up a few times when I found out I was having Aria, and I really thought, like, we should name her Noelle because I love Christmas, you know? I don't know. That was kind of my way of thinking. The next name is Andrea. I like the name Andrea. Actually, I recently just came to really like the name Andrea. I didn't really care for it before, but I watch a lot of TV, and Little Women Atlanta, if you watch that show, one of the twins, her name is Andrea, and they're just so cute. So I was like, oh my gosh, she's making me like the name. You know, my family weren't like crazy about it because they're like, oh, it's already like common, you know, it's not like unique in a way. The next name is Melody. Melody. I love the name Melody. I actually fell in love with the name from Little Mermaid yet again. I was watching Little Mermaid 2, and Ariel's daughter's name is Melody. And I was like, oh my god, what a perfect name. EJ loves music, and you know, Aria's name means music. And then if she ever had a sister, you know, they could be the music girls. I don't know. I love the name Melody. What turned me off from Melody was the fact that I think Ray J, his daughter's name Melody, and I was like, oh, I don't want it to look like I'm copying. And, you know, he's a celebrity, so Melody was X'd off the list if I were to ever have a daughter, which honestly, like I said, if I were to ever get pregnant again, I feel boy energy, definitely not girl energy. Like, I feel like I'm meant to have more boys than girls, you know? Okay, but anyways, the next name on my list is India. I almost named Aria India. Her name was India. Like, for the longest time, I was calling this little baby, who's Aria, I was like, India, her name's India, like India. And I tell you, nobody, when I say literally, like, nobody was on board. It was like pulling teeth. They were just like, why India, you know? But I love the name. I thought India, like the name India, is just so beautiful. I did put a middle name because this was going to be Aria's name. Her name was going to be India Nicole. I thought it was like a good flow. And if she didn't like India, then she could use Nicole. But I love the name India. The next name is Corey, and when I thought Troy, well, I knew Troy was a boy, but I thought if my energy's wrong, if my intuition's wrong, and I have a girl, her name would have been Corey with a K, and the middle name Madison. And I brought it up in my past names that I like. Corey has always been my top favorite girl name ever. The hubby wanted something more feminine, but I know a lot of, well, I don't know a lot of Corys, but I've heard of girls being named Corey, and it's like they love the name Corey, you know. But he was like, oh, I don't know, it's not as feminine as I want it to be for a girl, whatever. But Corey, love the name. It's my top favorite name. Her name would have been Corey Madison. If Troy was a girl, I honestly would have went against EJ and put her name Corey Madison, and EJ would have just called her Maddie or something, because I love the name Corey. The next name is Elena. EJ's mom's name is Elsa. My mom's name is Selena, and we came up with the two moms, Elena. And then her middle name would have been Ray. She would have been named after me too. So Elsa, Selena, and Rachel. Elena Ray. I know I said if I were to ever have a girl, her name would be Naomi, but I think it'd be Elena Ray because the meaning is still strong. The reason why I put it on the list for never using it with my future kids is because I felt kind of bad not giving it to Aria. And I don't want her to be like, well, why did you name me Aria and you gave her, like, you guys named her after you, and you know. But we named Aria after music because her name means like music and creativity. And anyways, we went off of meaning with her too, but we just felt like, dang, this meaning is so strong, like she's named after all the moms, and we didn't want her to feel left out. Last name is Bella Blue. I'm not a huge fan of the name Bella, if I'm being completely honest. EJ is obsessed. He loves the name Bella Blue. He's obsessed. And then, you know, our last name's Bailey, so he thought like BBB, Bella Blue Bailey. He was obsessed with the name. He begged me to put it on Aria, but I wasn't sold on the name Bella. I know of so many Bellas, you know, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's so many Bellas out there. Like I just couldn't do it. And then also he has a friend and his daughter's name's Bella, and she's the cutest little thing. So I'm like, oh, Bella. It's just so many Bellas that I know that I can't, like, I don't want to overuse it, you know. So I decided that for me, I didn't really want to go with the name, but he was obsessed. That's actually EJ's top name. After Aria, his favorite name is Bella Blue. So those are the names that I love but will never ever use. And make sure to check out Annette from the Martis family and see what name she loves but will never use as well. I'll see you in my next video.